What if I told you that by spending just 30 minutes a day learning some new skills and some new mindset tricks, you could completely transform your financial life in 2025? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. And the main thing to think about is that consistency beats intensity every single time. So if you can take just 30 minutes a day, or if you don't have 30 minutes a day, go for 15 minutes a day, go for 10 minutes a day, but dedicate time each and every day to building new finance skills and working on your mindset towards money and towards wealth, because consistency, building that in as a part of your day the same way you would as exercise, for example, or preparing healthy meals, getting enough sleep. I feel like your money habits really need to be built in as well if you're going to achieve financial independence, which is what I'm so passionate about. And it's what I teach here on my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. And let's talk about 5 ways that you can spend that 30 minutes a day if you really want to level up your money and revolutionize your financial life in 2025. So number 1 is to take that 30 minutes to start paying bills and tracking your spending. So if you don't already have time built in every day to pay bills, I've got to say it is much easier than having a marathon bill pay session once every couple of weeks or once a month. It also lets you be able to see, do I have any unexpected charges that have come on, or any charges that I didn't make that I'm being billed for. So it's really good to have that time built into each and every day. I do this over coffee in the mornings. Just sit down and make sure that you're on track. Also, if you can automate as many bills as possible that you know come in every single month, such as your rent or mortgage, utilities, any kind of a bill that's every single month, you know you have to pay it, and there's a way to set it up so it auto pays. I would recommend doing that because it saves a lot of time as well, and also you don't have to worry about missed bills. But just make sure to spend some time every single day just kind of keeping on top of things and making sure that you're not ending up with like runaway credit card bills, for example, because you just simply haven't had the time to sit down and pay everything off. It's very nice keeping up with things little by little, like I said, rather than have to have a marathon bill pay session when you can't remember what those charges are, especially if they're all from Amazon. The second way to spend your 30 minutes of building that new money habit into your daily routine and your schedule, blocking time out for it, is fine-tuning your budget. So budgets are not static, and they need to flex with us as we grow and change over time. So if you've just recently had a pay raise at work, you want to go back and look at that and think through how you want to allocate that extra money. Or if you've had a new income stream that you've started up, let's say you've got a side gig like the one I started on Etsy, and I'll link to some videos about starting a side business on Etsy if you're interested in that down in the description. But anyway, if you've got extra money coming in all of a sudden, really take a look and be strategic with how you're going to be using that. Make sure you're putting some towards your savings, some towards your investments to build your future wealth, and make sure that your current budgets that you're working off of really accurately reflects at any given point in time, any snapshot there, how much is coming in, how much is going out, and make sure that it's got some allocated for emergency savings and as much as possible allocated towards investments, depending on where you are in your financial journey. The earlier you can start saving and investing for retirement is the better. The earlier, the better in that front. The third way to spend your time when you've got some time blocked out to work on your money habits and your mindset is to start working with your financial team. Now, if you don't have a financial team, this is the best time possible to start building one. So you can have there are so many different financial professionals out there who are standing by to help you out. And it can be at any price point. I think there's a conception that you can't work with a financial planner or a finance coach, for example, unless you have a certain amount of income or a certain amount of net worth. And while there are some financial advisors out there who that's their cutoff, is that they only accept clients if they have a certain amount of combined annual household net worth, for example. Then there's like loads of other people, though, who are happy to work with you who don't have those specifications. So there's financial planners, there's investment advisors, there's finance coaches, There are money therapists who can help you if you're having particularly thorny arguments with your spouse, for example, or your partner, and need some help navigating the choppy waters of running a household budget together. There are actually therapists who specialize specifically in helping you work through those with your loved ones. There's estate planners to help you make sure that your affairs are in order should, God forbid, you pass away. There are retirement planners to help you answer that burning question of, do I have enough to retire? And they specialize specifically in that. So that is really great. And there's just so many different resources available completely for free as well on YouTube, on podcasts. So if you don't have money to hire financial planners, put together, basically think of it as a virtual team of people that you're not doing one-to-one work with them, but you're following the work they're doing on YouTube or what they're sharing on their podcast, and start educating yourself that way. I would say in today's day and age, I don't think there has ever been this much free access to financial information and financial advice. Now, with that being said, you do want to be careful who you take your advice from. So really look at their education, look at their background, and look at client reviews if you're going to be hiring someone, for example. And really pay attention to people's track records of, can they do what they say they can, and are they experienced, are they qualified, are they licensed in the areas that you need them to assist you in. So always really do your research on that. But whether you plan to hire professionals or use free resources online, start putting together a team of people to help educate you and inform you about how best to work towards your financial goals. The fourth way to spend those 30 minutes is learning about finance and investing. So this kind of ties into my last point as well. There is so much information out there today, and not just about the wealth skills in particular, of the financial skills you need to be able to do to build wealth, such as have a budget and spend less than you make sure you're putting adequate amounts early on towards your savings and investing goals. But also, there's so much about wealth mindset. There are books, there are podcasts, there are YouTube channels like mine that talk about the mindset that you need to approach wealth. I have an entire playlist all about wealth mindset that I'll link to in the description as well. And so really working on your mindset, working on your approach towards money is just as important as those skills, which is why I teach both on my channel to help empower you to achieve financial independence. And then the fifth and final way to be able to use this time is to really think about it. And like we were talking about earlier, really build this in as a habit in your day. So make sure that you would show up for this same way you would for an appointment, and really make it a priority. And it can be at any times of the day that you choose. It can be mornings, it can be over lunch, it can be in the evenings, like whatever's the best time for your schedule. And like I said, if you do not have 30 minutes right now, start with 10 minutes and really take some time to listen to a podcast or pay a bill, or start researching. If you're looking for someone to help you with taxes, for example, start researching someone to help with taxes. Just all of these different things that you can do, but really build that in as a habit in your day, and make a commitment to yourself that you're going to show up for your future self by learning the finance skills and the mindset today that you need to learn, so that you are building towards your goal of financial independence. So that's 5 ways that you can really think about building this as a habit, and ideas of how you can spend that time. And it really pays off when you start building things in as a habit. It's just the same way if you've ever worked on this in terms of exercise. If you've ever built in an exercise habit, if you go a day or two without working out, all of a sudden you just don't feel good and you really feel off, and you start to feel like, wow, I'm really ready to get back into my routine. And so this is just very much the same way as if you go a couple of days without working on building your skills in the area of finance, without checking your budget, without paying off some bills, for example, you'll start to really feel like, oh, I really want to get back into that. So building habits can be a little bit difficult in the beginning, but then once you've made it a habit, studies show that you can basically continue that habit, and this goes for bad habits, unfortunately, too, but that's also the same for good habits. Whatever habits we choose to build into our daily lives and our routines, once we have them established, we can basically do them the rest of our lives. So whatever you're building in right now is going to serve you really, really well for the rest of your life, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much wealth you have. There's always more to learn about personal finance. There's always more to learn about money mindset. There's always more podcasts to listen to and articles to read and YouTube videos to watch. And so just to have that mindset of continuing education for yourself and continuing to put that time in is just so, so valuable, and you're going to set yourself up so well in the long run. So that is my 30 minutes of being able to really build that new habit and dedicate that time. And let me know for those 30 minutes, kind of what is the one thing that you're going to start with as you start building this habit in? What's the aspect of your finances and your budget that you really want to start focusing on first, or you're learning that you want to start focusing on first? Please let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to hear from you. And until next time, may your journey be filled with abundance, your efforts rewarded with prosperity, and your mindset aligned with lasting wealth. I'll see you again soon.